Welcome to Wisconsin, Eddie.
Thanks, Katie. You know that I've been here before, right?
Why have you been here before?
Well, 1 year and a half ago, I brought my son here. I'm a big fan of a player called Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Ah, the Greek player.
Exactly, the Greek freak. And we were always watching the games with my son on the TV. And we finally went on a road trip 1 year and a half ago and came here and watched live. And it was like a special
The best memory.
father and son memory that we built that was quite amazing.
I love that. Well, we are headed up to the Paper Valley. Won't be quite as cool as the Milwaukee Bucks, but I think we'll keep you entertained.
I'm sure we are going to create great memories during this road trip.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Why would you look outside yourself when you have all of the world inside?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Across the United States, the print and packaging industry powers everything from morning coffee cups to medicine boxes and everything in between. It's a $300 billion engine of design, logistics, and identity, where every label, carton, and mailer tells a story. But long before digital presses and smart packaging, there was paper. And at the center of that story is a valley, cradled by Wisconsin's waterways and fueled by its forests. The Paper Valley became the birthplace of an industry, a place where mills roared, innovation thrived, and generations turned timber into text, pulp into possibility. This is not just where paper was made. It's where America's paper legacy was written.
So I'm probably not the best historian on the Paper Valley, having not grown up here, but from my understanding, it runs from Appleton to Green Bay, and there is and was a lot of paper mills and production done here. How that has evolved, obviously printing on paper is not flexography's wheelhouse so much, a little bit, but other printers have popped up in this area because of that history, and there are a lot of flexible packaging, labels, preprint, corrugated, and trade shops in the, I don't know the distance from Appleton to Green Bay, but it's short, and you drive along the highway and they're just on every single side as you head up.
Like I was telling someone that we can drive on a major highway without even leaving the highway, going roughly maybe about a 30-mile street. I could probably show you 30, 35 printing plants off of it. This area is known, for the paper, and I'm sure that's why the printing industry has been. But yeah, it's a huge, huge printing area.
So this area has everything you could imagine. There's the big corporate international printers in the area. There's the small little label shops that have been around since their great-grandfather started it. And then there's everything in between. You have customers that are only doing flexible packaging, customers that are doing a mix of flexible packaging, labels, and maybe even folding cartons. And then you have the big preprint corrugators, and the trade shops that support all of those in between as well.
I've been around here for a while, and the Paper Valley is called the Paper Valley for a reason. There used to be a lot of paper mills up and down the river, the Fox River, and with a lot of them closing down in the last 40 years, it was a very easy transition to converting versus making paper. So you had a lot of people with paper making experience or web experience that it's not a big leap from paper making to converting or printing or rewinding. So I think that's how the Paper Valley became such a big inflexo.
The US is among the first countries who shifted to flexo printing technology from gravure. So for us, it has always been a very important and strategic region. Historical customers here, pushing us to improve productivity, reliability, because in this country, what differs is the output. We have large converters who are making plates 24/7, and they need robust machines to image the plates. And this is where we face, I would say, very challenging engineering topics that the team is working on around productivity, reliability, and quality. So the three of them, makes this market very interesting.
We're very, very fortunate to have the relationship that we have with ESCO and the representation. We're ESCO. That's who we are. We've had we have almost 30 years experience with ESCO. So that brings us to today, current. I've had a great career here at Printron. I've worked with ESCO a long, long time. I've seen a lot of changes. I'm excited for the future.
There's somewhere to be every night of the week. Seems God ain't close as he used to be. And there's more tequila in this old town than pines in Tennessee.
This region is just the sweetest. They're very straight shooters. I love working in this area. We have some really, really good printers. I'd like to say the best in North America, but that's biased. But I do think that they're working hard. They're up against a lot of the same challenges that the rest of the nation, or probably globally, are up against. Increasing prices of their consumables, shorter lead times. You have to get that product to the shelf as fast as possible, and have it look the same every single time.
I like printing. I liked it a lot when I was in high school. We pretty much did just offset and silkscreen type printing. But I didn't even know what the word flexo was. My father was in the printing, obviously being in the big area. He was in the printing aspect of it. And I asked my father, I said, what is flexo? And he says, something to do with large presses. And I said, okay, I'll check it out. So I took a tour of the school and saw what a press looked like. I said, oh, that might be interesting. And ever since then, I've never made the wrong choice. I absolutely love flexography. And it's kind of nice. Being from a printing, I call it the printing capital of the, probably maybe the capital of the world. The state of Wisconsin has a lot of printing here between flexo and offset.
I mean, overall, I've only ever been in flexo. .geek through and through. So speaking about the other types of printing, clearly not good. Not good. Flexo's the best.
I started when I was 20 years old. Actually, I answered an ad in the paper. I didn't even know what it was. All I knew was manufacturing. And so I sent my application and resume at the time, and it ended up being a Flexo printer that made their own film and was in it very strongly in the tissue towel market. And I started there as an assistant. I went into their extrusion area, then their plate mounting area. And then I was an operator for 5 years. And then in 2001, after my second child was born, I went to Coating Excellence in Wrightstown because they just started up. They were only installing their second press when I started, and I was there for 19 years. Installed 8 more presses after that. And then in 2020, right in the middle of COVID, I came here. I have been working with ESCO equipment since they put the CDI in over there.
way you're doing it, you're getting your plate,
So
you're back.
we have three types of processed plates. We have the solvent plates, we have the thermal plates, and we have the water plates. We see a certain trend towards thermal and water in the last 3 to 4 years, especially converters. Converters are moving away from solvent processing because of speed and sustainability. And they are shifting towards either thermal or water. And it's quite interesting for us because we have been working with solvent in the last 25 years and obviously supporting also thermal and water, but we have seen an acceleration in the last 5 years for those two technologies. And it's interesting because we need to keep the same level of quality that we have been obtaining on solvent processing with thermal and water.
I truly believe in crystal screening. I've seen what it can do for printers. Having been in production myself for years, it's been a while, but I do remember what it was like. When you compare crystal screening to what you did before, especially in those like quarter tones to 3/4 tones, it's so clean and those dots are so nice looking. And that just means that every single time you do that, it's gonna look like that, which is, yes, it's beautiful, but Flexo's been beautiful for a while. This is efficient on press, and that, to me, is a better story for our customers.
What I saw behind those customers are passionate people about the packaging industry. They are all there together. It felt like a big family.
And the whole Flexo industry is kind of a neat industry to begin with because we really don't have any real major trade secrets. It's kind of a unique industry that we kind of, work off of each other and share each other.
I have been in the printing industry for 45 years. I have seen the old school. I have seen lead type being set up in a composing stick, molded rubber plates. I have seen the transition to computers. I have seen unbelievable advances in software and equipment. I've been in this industry that long. I love it. It's a challenge, and what makes it special? What makes it special? And again, from my perspective, managing the plant, is to see the camaraderie, the people working together on a common goal, to really see the challenge, and people step up and they really say, okay, I need to do this really well today, right?
I'm having fun. I think we're having fun. Yeah, it's always the challenge. It's always the challenge of trying to provide that service in a timely manner, and then also seeing the results. Having the staff put the time into it to execute it, to make that product, so when they print it, the client's happy.
And we've been blessed with an outstanding staff, just top notch.
Sometimes they are competing, sometimes they are cooperating, and this love for packaging with the people I have interacted with was very inspiring, and I really appreciate it. I truly believe those 4 days as a whole made it very special to me, and it is something I take back home as a very good. Because again, the encounters with all the people, the interactions in the car, seeing the Paper Valley, going to the Packer Stadium, you cannot just single one out. It is really the whole experience that fills you with emotions and with experiences, and this is what I really loved about the visit.
One, two, three, four. Yeah, your heart is a sun, and it shines as it opens.
Where your heart is the sun, and it shines, says it opens.
Yeah, your heart is a sun, and it shines as it opens.
Is the sun, and it shines, says it opens.
Yeah, your bones are the earth, and they sing with the mountains.